Hey guys, today we're doing something different. This is not actually a let's play thing or anything. I'm just gonna talk to Michael.
Despite the fact that there is footage playing.
And there he goes. Yeah, there's game footage playing, but I'm not seeing it. I'm like millions of miles away. So I'm gonna just talk to Michael about the game, about Far Cry 4 in particular, which is the game. Which you're actually seeing, so that's kind of stupid. Again, I don't see the gameplay footage, so I don't know. So the thing is, I haven't played the game at all. I don't have the game yet. Thank you, Amazon. Thanks. What we're gonna do? There goes my delivery. Then I'm gonna deliver it now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna talk to Michael, and I have some questions about Far Cry 4. Yada yada yada. So
we're just totally winging it. So it's not.
Yeah.
We haven't prepped this at all.
If you haven't guessed till this point, this is not prepped at all because I have no clue what to ask. But I think we'll start with a normal, simple thing. How big is? What's the place's name? What's the?
It's Kyrat. Kyrat.
Yeah.
In the Himalayas.
Yeah, it's in Himalayas, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
well, kind of. It's at the foot of like a whole lot of the Himalayas, but you do go up into the mountains as well.
It's like the secret fictional place, yeah.
Yeah.
How big is it compared to what the island was in Far Cry 3? Because I've heard, it's not as big as it looks.
It looks and feels a lot bigger than it is. It's apparently the same size as the island, but it takes a lot longer to get anywhere just because it's not all flat and rolling hills. Like you've got to climb up cliff faces and that sort of thing, which they're not as prominent as I thought they were going to be, but there's a lot of like areas where you have like a grappling hook and you can climb up a cliff face and abseil down other ones and all that sort of thing. So it takes a lot longer to get from one side to the other.
So they made it look longer or bigger than it is.
Yeah,
well, in fact, it's actually the same size.
Yeah, it's the same size. There's a lot more in it though, and like there's a lot more animals. Anyone who's been watching the Let's Play footage I've been putting up will see like I'm constantly running into rhinos that kill me, and like there's eagles that attack me all the time, and tigers and leopards, and there's just heaps of things that get in the way of you just getting from point A to B, which is good. Like it makes the game feel really alive and
definitely.
But
so it's not like in Far Cry 3 where you had just one snake show up at one time, and you just use the tigers and leopards and all that to kill the outpost people. It's actually you'll run into a lot of tigers and
like if you're going through a tiger area. Like, because in Far Cry 3, the same thing, you can look on the map and see the areas where the animals were. If you're going through a tiger area, you'll probably see 3 tigers in that area when you're running through it, sort of thing. And you have at least one of them attack you. The other ones might be busy attacking random friendlies that you can help and get points for, or attacking enemies, or chasing other animals, and that sort of thing. But you'll see at least 3 or 4 tigers, most likely, when you're running through a tiger area.
Damn. Okay.
Not as many crocodiles though. In my 22 hours of gameplay so far, I've only come across 2 crocodiles.
Where? I mean, isn't it all mountains? Where would you find
Yeah, but there's a river running through. There's some lakes and things like that. And like there's these fish called demon fish. I've run into them a bit more. They're like these big fish that apparently are real. They're like huge fish in real world as well. And they attack you, and like there's little piranhas that will just nip at you and take your health down and stuff.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask, is the demon fish like another name for piranhas? But since you have both,
it's a big like meter or 2 long fish sort of thing.
Holy crap! Okay, so never go to Himalayas.
Apparently not. Yeah.
What else? Okay, yeah, like when you start off. I think that's the footage we saw at E3, the beginning.
Yep.
The thing where you
helicopter.
arrive in a bus and you.
Yep.
Right, and you meet the guy. One thing I do want to ask is this guy as big a dick as your protagonist in the other one? Because the other one, the guy was like stupid.
You mean antagonist?
He was just an idiot.
Oh wait, you mean the character we're playing as?
You.
I don't know. RJ is like,
so to speak.
he's really flat as a character.
His name is RJ?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
there's not a lot to him. Like, he rocks up there. The story is that he's going to Karat to spread his mum's ashes, and that's her dying wish, is that she wants to be cremated and have her ashes spread in Karat, because her and his dad came from Karat and fled because of the war, which you find out is they actually started the resistance and all that stuff, which is really early on. That's not spoilers or anything.
Okay, because I was gonna say spoilers. Jeez.
No, so she wants to go back there and get the ashes spread there. And your guy kind of rocks up there. For starters, he's already signed up to be illegally trafficked into the country just to spread ashes. And then these guys rock up, pull out their guns and start shooting at the bus like you see in that thing. And then within 10 minutes of the game, your guy's like, okay, I'm going to help this resistance now. And then the next 10 minutes, he's like, I'm actually only here to spread my mum's ashes. I'll help out where I can. But, like, he's really a nothing. He just does what he's told, sort of thing. Like, at least Brody in Far Cry 3 started off, he was like, oh fuck, how the fuck am I gonna survive? And like was really like lost. And then his character arc, he developed, like, turned from like this really wet behind the ears, like rich white kid, to then becoming like this really hardened killing machine that couldn't return to society in that. Where in this one, the character doesn't have an arc so far, at least. Like, he's just a nothing. Just does what he's told. There's nothing to him. All the other characters in the game are interesting, but he's really flat.
I wonder if they make that in purpose, because not all Ubisoft characters are like that. Because Watch Dogs, that guy, Aiden, whatever, Pierce.
Yeah.
He had some sort of gist to him. Assassin's Creed, love it or hate it, still has something to do with the character.
Well, the thing, the thing in this one is that the entire motivation this character has for getting into all these scenarios and fighting with the resistance and that is to spread his mum's ashes at a specific temple in Karat. Now, I know that like that's dying wishes and that are meant to be like really important and that, but I feel like he would get to a point after he just had like 6 people open fire on him and then a guy kill someone and torture people in front of him and that, where he'd be like, sorry mum, I'm just gonna spread your ashes here, and then leave.
Yeah.
Like, it's... Or
just get on a helicopter, fly over the temple and just...
Yeah, it's not motivation enough, and I don't know, it doesn't make sense, and I wonder if there's more to it, because I don't know if you've read, there was, after Far Cry 3, there was this thing, the guy that wrote the story came out and said that Far Cry 3's story isn't actually about Far Cry 3's story, it's actually a parallel of gamers and how they just do what they're told, and like they go through all these motions and that sort of thing. And like if you look it up, you'll be able to find the article again. Really good read, and assuming the guy wasn't just making up stuff to like throw off the racism claims that they were getting about Far Cry 3, then that guy was really, really intelligent when he was writing the story, and he wrote this story as well. So I'm wondering if in like a couple of months we're going to get something saying, yeah, RJ's like this, like, because
you fell for it again.
Yeah.
Doofus.
I don't know, because basically the development team with Far Cry 3, and I think they said again with this one, were like, we don't really care about the story, we're going to make an awesome game and then shape it around this guy's story, sort of thing.
Right.
So, I don't know, be interesting to see what comes out with that.
So he's pretty bland.
Yes, very.
RJ guy. Okay, so... And there's like the alarm clock going off again. What we are going through is, again, if for anyone who's just started watching for random reasons in the middle of the thing, I'm just asking Michael about questions about Far Cry 4. In case you're like skipping through this thing and you're like, where's the game? Where's the Let's Play footage? There is no Let's Play footage, I think. I don't know if he's playing, because I can't see his screen.
I don't. No, I'm not. I'm not recording. I'm just gonna put footage to it.
Okay, right. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. I'm just asking. Okay, moving on. That's the best thing I can do right now. What in the game in Far Cry 3? My biggest disappointment was that boss was killed, because that means he's not there unless it's a pre-sequel sort of thing, or prequel.
Yeah, no, he's not in this.
Pre-sequel. too much Borderlands. Right, he's not in this.
No.
How does the new guy compare to the nuts, the madness, the maniac that is?
He's a lot more homogenized. He's a lot more like a standard villain sort of thing. You know, in Far Cry 3, how it's all about Voss, like he was everything, and then he died, and everyone was like, "Wait, what? There's more game." In this one, Pagan is there in the very beginning, like when he captures you in that cutscene, and then so far now I haven't been doing a lot of the story. I've done a lot of the side quests and stuff. But I'd say I'm probably approaching the middle of the story. I haven't actually seen Pagan again. He's talked to me over the radio and stuff, but I haven't seen him.
Right.
He's been behind the scenes. There's 4 other bad guys. Like, Pagan has 4 commanders, and you've got to take down them before you get to Pagan. I'm about to take... Typical. Oh, no, I did just take down the second one. And, like... The first one is Paul. He's a little bit shallow. He's not like... He's probably a little bit deeper than your standard action movie bad guy. So he's not bad, but he's not good. Yeah. And then the second one, Nor. There's a fair bit of stuff there. She's a reasonably complicated character, but they don't really spend a lot of time on her. And then I don't even know the other 2 yet. I haven't got to that point yet, so... But I assume Pagan's going to come back into it. I just hope it's not until, like, I hope that he's in it before, right at the end. Because I was assuming to get caught a couple of times in that.
Right, because by the time you reached 50% of the game in Far Cry 3, Vass tried to kill you about, what, 5 times already?
Yeah, like he'd thrown you into the water, and like he'd already tried a few times. Because then he makes that comment about, how do I kill you, man? Every time I kill you, you just keep fucking coming back, and that sort of thing.
And then, you know, the definition of insanity, his whole calling card. So, Pagan isn't as involved so far. So far,
yeah. I mean, it might change later, but...
Third one.
But he's definitely not very involved yet, which I think is a smart move, because I think one of the biggest challenges I had with this was trying to recreate Voss. Like, it was... Far Cry 3 should have been called Voss, not Far Cry 3. Exactly. And they've kind of distanced themselves from being a one-trick pony again with that by not making it all about one character that then dies.
They don't want Pagan to be the be-all and end-all of the game. They want the commanders to come in.
Yep.
So another thing I have read about is something like super outpost, which is like forts or something.
Yeah, so
that wasn't there in Far Cry 3, was it? It was just outposts in Far Cry 3.
Yeah, so basically all the commanders have their own fort and then their own place as well. So before you take down a commander, you've got to take down their fort, which is just a big outpost. They're not really that big a deal. All through the game, it's like, don't try and take down this outpost until you're ready. Call in a co-op friend, blah, blah, blah. The first outpost I went through and did before I was meant to, and did it first time, like, didn't even get detected. It's that thing again in Far Cry 3 where once you master the stealth and you get a sniper rifle that's silenced, if you play your cards carefully, then it's a little bit too easy.
You can tell it, right.
It's really rewarding, like going through and taking down a fort with like 20 enemies in it and not getting detected is cool, but it's a little bit easy.
Right. Yeah. So another thing is, do you think, you know how when you played Far Cry 3 and then Blood Dragon came out?
Yep.
Right? And it uses the same world, but, you know, in a different sense with the whole ultraviolet thing. Do you think this place would be fit for another Blood Dragon, or do they...
Well, there's actually...
Because you finished Blood Dragon.
Yeah, and they're making a separate Blood Dragon sequel.
Right.
Like, Blood Dragon is now its own franchise, apparently. But there's this stuff in Far Cry 4 where, like, the drugs come back into it again. You come across these 2 characters, Yogi and Reggie, and they, upon the first time you meet them, they offer you a joint, and then you turn it down and they just stab a needle into your leg and you get high. And then you go off to this place called Shangri-La, which is like, you know, the thing in, I don't even know what religions, in like 2 or 3 different religions, I think. But you go to Shangri-La and...
Shangri-La, it's Chinese, Buddhism, I think, yeah.
Yeah, and that's all like a separate
Buddhism,
little story arc, so you're trying to save Shangri-La from demons, but you can only go there through the drug quests, so you have to go find this, like a Tonka, which is...
Reggie and...
Yeah, like they give you a location of a Tonka, which is part of like a wall hanging or something like that, and then you go to Shangri-La, and you have like a spirit tiger that you can command around and stuff like that. So they do have some pretty trippy stuff in there already.
Right, so... Blood Dragon, not necessarily part of this game again, but it could they use this world? Because
well, again, Blood Dragon didn't use Far Cry 3's world. Blood Dragon was a completely separate world and story. It was just the same engine. This is how little I've played Blood Dragon. They just took the engine.
I got a hemorrhaging headache.
They just took the engine and made a separate game.
Like, okay, that's it. Okay, right. For anyone watching, that was completely not on purpose. That is a proof that this is not on purpose, because I wouldn't bring it up if it was on purpose. So, how long have you been playing, and how much content can someone expect when they're buying Far Cry 4?
I think I'm at hour 23 now. I think it might be a little bit more than that. I'm probably halfway through the story. There is still a lot of stuff to do. Like, I haven't discovered the entire map. I haven't done even half the locations in my map that I have discovered. Like, there is a lot of content there. It's not like Skyrim or Far Cry 3 where it takes like 10 minutes to get from one location to the other. It takes probably a minute between each area, and like they're just little huts and caves and stuff like that, but there's a lot more in the world than in other games.
Right. There's, when you mentioned caves, like you can actually explore the caves, or it's more
so far
it's collapsed, I can't go in there.
Nah, so far they've been little caves. It's not like in Far Cry 3 there was a couple of big underground areas and that sort of thing that you did through the story. I haven't come across any of them yet in this game, but still hoping. That's the one thing I think that's missing so far, is variety in like that stuff. Like a lot of it's just out in the plains and that, and like I've only been up into the Himalayan mountains once. Because they're separate instances, you can't actually just walk up there. You need to go talk to a Sherpa and have them guide you up there.
Every time?
Yeah, so they're only separate little areas that are off from the main map.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like there's the main map, and then there's the Himalayan map.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to just like walk in?
No, unfortunately not. Which I think is just because of the fact that when you're in the high mountaintops you need to have an oxygen mask. So I think the only reason they've done it is just to make it so that you don't all of a sudden need an oxygen mask and die. Yeah.
Right, so that's taken care of. What else? I'm running out of questions here.
That's probably...
Oh yeah, and any sort of new weapons or something that we could look forward to, something that you recommend if you're playing the game for the first time. Far Cry 3 had the bow and arrow, which you like.
Yeah, the bow and arrow's back in again. There's not really any new weapons. It's all the normal stuff you'd expect. So you got like machine guns, submachine guns, and snipers and all that. There's not really any new weapons I can think of. Oh, there is. There's a little crossbow. That there's awesome.
Oh, cool.
And that that shoots bolts, and it's actually better than the bow and arrow because it goes further, does more damage, and you can carry 50 bolts instead of 20 arrows. But you don't get it until about 15 hours in.
That's something I wanted to ask.
Yep.
The skill system, is it like the same as the Far Cry 3 one where you have tattoos coming in?
No, there's no magical tattoos this time around.
Yeah, right.
It's just a normal skill system. So you have 2 trees. You have the tiger and the elephant, and the tiger's about combat, and the elephant's about crafting and defense.
Crafting, right?
Yep.
Okay. So how many skill do we have to make a choice, or do you think you can get all of them?
I've almost maxed out the skill tree, so I'm pretty sure it'd be pretty easy to get them all.
Okay,
so it takes a little while now because
it's which one do you want sooner?
Yeah. So like I went straight for the heavy takedown. Like in the tiger skill tree, there's about 6 different skill lines. So you need to do all the like tier 1 before you move to tier 2. So I looked at the skill line that had the heavy takedown and went straight all into that skill line straight away.
Right.
And that sort of thing.
Which is the easiest thing to do because or else those heavies get really annoying.
Yep.
That was annoying in Far Cry 3.
Yeah.
I had to wait till like the very end, and then it was like beyond. It didn't really matter anymore. So Far Cry 4, step up from Far Cry 3, or just more of the same, or you kind of missed the whole Far Cry 3 thing?
I think I still prefer Far Cry 3. I mean, I still prefer Far Cry 2 is my favorite one, but Far Cry 3 is probably still better, but this is almost as good. I'm not complaining about it.
Do you actually feel a difference from Far Cry 3 to Far Cry 4? Far Cry 3, let's face it, looked amazing.
Yeah, it doesn't feel different in mechanics and systems, but the environment is really different. Like having all that wildlife, having the vertical elevation, like the cliff faces and all that sort of thing get in the way, it feels very different.
Great. Okay. So I think that's about it because I don't have any other questions to ask, and I'm totally out of it. I'm out of questions. So that's Far Cry 4. I've never played it. I haven't played it yet. He's been playing for, like he said, 23 hours or so.
Yep.
I'm getting my copy soon, so we will be doing a Let's Play series,
a co-op
one as well as a single player one. Yeah, so that's gonna be really nice because if you haven't noticed, I'm like super awesome with stealth. Like I'm like a ninja that no one ever sees, and then
because he runs away.
Dead, right? Right. And the dead is me dying, not the enemy. Okay. So keep a lookout for that. If you like this and you want more of these things, let us know in the comments. Subscribe, yada yada yada. See you guys later.
Catch you later, guys.
RJ, I hope you don't mind, but I took the liberty of having a new suit made up for you. If you want to lead Karat when this is all over, you're going to need a sharper look than denims and fucking sneakers, my boy. And that jacket, don't get me started. Why on earth do you need so many zippered pockets? What do you keep in them all? Handfuls of meat? I suppose you do. I'll make a note for my tailor. RJ's jacket, zippered meat pockets. Perfect. Well, don't let me slow you down.